Hello, Revernauts. Chief Engineer Rever, and we are back at the Reverstan Space Agency. And I have fast forwarded some time, and one little bit strange thing happened. We completed a contract while I was fast forwarding to do a manned moon orbit. Well, that's one of the things we were working on in the last episodes, and I think it's because we already did an orbit, right? In the last thing, but so it's sort of a little bit of a waste that we have Pajar up there going into orbit. Hopefully he'll get some experience and we'll get some science out of the whole thing. But in any event, we got another 125,000 plus a bit of science and some prestige. So I'm not sure, like you would have thought maybe it would have just instantly recognized we already did an orbit, but for some reason, just when I was fast forwarding, it did it. So if we come to our alarm clock and take a look, this is sort of what we have on the docket, so to speak. And the Moon Station 1 is where Steve is, and he's going to be ready to make a maneuver in 5 minutes, so we'll get up there shortly. There is our manned moon orbiter with Pajar, and then we got Chunk is in the Mimmus Station 1, and he still has 7 days to get out there, so we have a while to get him to his orbit, but I think we could jump over to this ship, right? We can do it right from here. Nice to have this Kerbal alarm clock. Saves a little bit of clicking and screen opening. And there we go. So, yep, we are pointed at our target, which I had done earlier in the whole mission. And let's close this alarm clock. Well, you know what? Let's leave it open, and then let's just fast forward to the maneuver node since we're already on our target, right? There we go. We should be very close to the moon. Where is the moon? There it is. Hard to miss, isn't it? All right, so we're back down to 1 time speed. Close the alarm. And now we're going to have to do a maneuver here, right? As far as, a staging. So we'll have to get to the point we're at, firing the engines. And we'll see. So we got, how's our electrical power? Always a concern, but yeah, hopefully now is not the time to tell. We'll have to see when we come back out from the other side, right? So let's fast forward 10 times until we get a little bit closer. I think we're ready to go here. And once we get done the maneuver, I'm going to take this down to about 40 seconds or so. Like, click on it at about 50 seconds or, yeah, there we go. That way we got plenty of time to make any last minute adjustments. Now this is all being done. We don't have a pilot up here. So yeah, we're going to have to see what happens as far as like losing our signal and things like that. Oh, what happened? Why did it not? Oh, okay. Planned executed maneuver. I'm worried because it's going so low, right? The burn time. I don't know why this is here. Let's get rid of that one. Oh, I know why. Because we had another stage. There we go. Goodbye. Last section. I hope that didn't mess us up too much. Hop out to here, right, and take a look. Okay. Yeah, we got down to 21 on our... Yeah, it did mess us up a little bit because I think we were shooting for 25 on our apoapsis height. And what I want to do is cancel this maneuver, right? And we'll put a new one in, and 26 is fine with me. It doesn't really matter the exact height. Doesn't need to be a roundish number like 25, even though 25 is not a round number, right? So what we want to do is burn a little bit prograde. Let's do it with this. Turn this down a little bit. So we want to take this guy up to about 26.4. There you go. So that should be another little maneuver we can do in, yeah, let's see. While we have a signal, let's get it executed. So we may lose our signal when we go behind there, right? So, you can see these lines. Which one? Oh, this is Moonset. Yeah, there we go. So we got this one line right there. All right, well, let's fast forward again. We got Moon Station 1. 50 times. Let's do 100. Oops, can't do, oh, we're less than 25. What? What is our height? Oh, we're going back up. Okay, we could go faster if once we got, yeah, our altitude's only 23. Until we get up to here, we'll be at 26. All right, so let's fast forward. Oh, let's let this guy maneuver over. Yeah, we'll come back and look. Yep, we're in the dark, so how fast is our power drain? Pretty fast. Now, I wouldn't think we'd still have a signal, but I guess that satellite's out over here, right? As far as being able to do this maneuver. Now we could get some science. Let's see, could we do a crew report? You know, I don't want to overwrite the existing crew report because now yeah, EVA. Oops, he's on the other side. Right click on them. Yeah, I think they can process EVA reports. All right, let's board before something stupid happens. The other thing we could probably do is if we right click here, we could transfer him, right? Transfer Steve Kerbin, and then we'll left click on this. And now he's left the habitat thing. And yeah. Now could he start working on science? Well, let's let him get back into the sun just to make sure we don't have any battery problems up here, right? Oh, look, we got a world first. Perform a spacewalk in orbit of the moon. Good. We got a tiny bit of money and a little bit of prestige. Very good. Let's close that. Man, okay, so we did. Let's go back to here. Well, let's do this burn first. Times 10. It's just a very little burn. Yes, we're going. That's exactly right. We're heading this way. We want to do prograde just to expand this one just a bit. Now, Chunk had given a good. Oh, there we go. So how did we do? Yeah, 26.4. Chunk was mentioned that you can turn down the thrust, and so when you're doing like a little tiny maneuver with a really big ship, this obviously did just fine. I mean, but if you wanted to be more exact, you could do that and then plan out your maneuver node, and it should take that into consideration. I don't know that I normally do that. Many times, if it was a tiny maneuver, at least in the past, I wasn't so diligent about, I would control it manually and just give it a little tiny tick of power at that point. So now another thing I think I want to do, and I don't know how much difference this really makes, but while we have a connection, I want to put this on Radial Plus, and I think that will give us a little bit better chance of making sure that at least at a chunk of the day, all four of our satellites, or all four of our solar panels, that's what I meant, are going to be pointing at the sun, right? Because if you're radial to the moon, you would be good to go in that respect, right? Let's do one more thing, I think. Yeah, our orbit is not 100%. Yeah, like we do have some inclination, which is probably okay, right? I don't think we need to worry about it. It's more when Pajar comes in, I think he's coming in at a funny angle, right? Like, yeah, where is Pajar? Can we see him from here? Oh, yeah, look, he's ahead of us. See, he's in a bigger orbit out here. So good. So there we are. We are, Steve is in position. And what I'd like to do is just let him go around for a little while. I know we didn't start up our science, but yeah, we could do that in a few minutes. Well, you know what, we probably should just, let's fast forward. We can keep an eye on where Steve is from here, right? I mean, Pajar is from here. Yeah, so if we did times 50, I'd like to get Steve back into the sun and then see what happens when we try to turn on our space lab. There we go. I think we're in the sun, right? Yeah, now that's the other thing when you fast forward, it doesn't continue to maneuver, but yeah, we got this going. So let's click on here and start research. No connection to send command. Okay. Where are we? Well, we should have 2 satellites, right? Oh, no target. Let's see. Polar Orbiter 2 might be a good one. No, no line of sight. Now, what's the other? This one. Oh, okay. It's the same one. Well, let's just shoot for one on the Earth, right? Or Kerbal, whatever. How about Mid-Orb Sat 1? It says status okay. Yep, there we go, connected. Okay, good. So now if we click on here, start research. Not enough crew. Uh-oh. So we're going to have that same problem with the other Minmus one, which will be... So that means we have to do a moon orbital docking, because it means we're going to have to get more people, which I did plan, right? You know, get some more people up here. Just wanted to get... I didn't want to risk too many people's lives, or else if I had realized this, I would have sent 2 up. So, well, I think this sucks up energy, so let's stop researching. So, Steve, you're just going to be floating around fairly pointlessly at this point. Yeah, so yeah, it's a shame. We could be doing science, but it looks like we'll have to plan on another mission to come out here and get some more people docked into this, which is fine because maybe we can upgrade the capabilities of this, right? Including maybe more solar panels and just whatever else we think we might need, right? This was an awful heavy thing for us to lift at this point into space. So there we go. All right. Well, anyway, let's see. Let's go to here, and can we just click on switch to? Yes. Okay. So we have 2 hours before Pajar would be, ready to go, and hopefully he's got plenty of power. Why is he? Okay. Yep, there's the moon, and the moon's going to come by us while we're at a further from Kerbin. So technically we're still in an orbit of Kerbin, right? But we're going to be in a slower orbit than the moon is, and the moon will come by and catch up. So let's take a look at his maneuver. Yeah, you know what? Let's fast forward at least till we get to this is an hour away to the moon encounter. So let's do 100 times. Now, one thing to be concerned about is Pajar's power, right? Because if he gets behind that moon for a long time, because the moon's going to be going by kind of slowly, right? We need to make sure he has... Hopefully he'll have enough power for that. But I want to try to set him up so that he's in the best shape possible. Now, we should automatically slow down at the encounter here. So there you go. If you picture what's happening in physics, like in a second here, well, in some short period of time, like, yeah, see now the moon is close enough that we are now like getting pulled, in a sense, back to the moon. Now, the moon's really probably moving closer to us, but, the gravitational field is, I don't know if it's pulling us backwards or not, but it's, at the same time, the moon is now catching up with us, as you can see. And it didn't slow us down. I guess we would have had to have a maneuver node. We're now in a escape trajectory of the moon at this point. So what I'd like to do, yeah, let's see. The power is just sort of frozen here. But let's see what I'm worried about is like we're going to go behind the moon for a little while. And I just want to make sure. Let's take a look this way. Yeah, we should be in reasonably good shape as far as, even if we go behind the moon, I don't think we'll be behind it for too long, right? And we are ready for our burn. We're pointing at our target. Now let's just check that real quick, right? Yeah, let's do F8 for too many orbits. Get rid of some of that stuff. Yeah, so we're in pretty good shape. I mean, we're not going to be in the prettiest orbit, but it's okay. We could do something to burn it to at least make it more eccentric, right? And this will bring us down to a real low periapsis. So I don't know. And then we probably want to adjust at some point the inclination just so that we get in a little bit. It really probably doesn't make too much difference as long as we can get back to Kerbal, but might make me feel a little bit better. So we got 7 more minutes or less and fast forward till we get to there. Oh, now we got power going down pretty quickly. We should, yep, going back up. Good. We're in good shape. We didn't go back there for too long. Close the alarm. All right, so that slowed us down. Now we have a 7-second burn here. Let's jump on over. Yep, see we're back where we can get to the sun. Now let's just speed this up again to get to our maneuver. Yeah, now this will be, yeah, we don't have to stage here, which is good because that means we're going to use up a lot more of this fuel. We can even burn some of it to get back off of the plane. Oh, I missed the burn. All right, let's go back to here so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I forgot that we're not doing this. Yeah, we got plenty of burning to do. This is less than ideal. I forgot we're not. I'm so used to doing it with the satellite or with the. What do you call it? There we go. We're in an orbit now, anyway. Let me just let it go a little bit further. I'm gonna hit X on my controller. I want to get down to like 25, so we're in low. There we go, 24. So we should be in low orbit, right? There we go. So it was a little bit awkward, but I'd rather... Yeah, we're going to keep this experiment. I don't know if it's better to do these, and I guess it's better to do these and send them back, right? Except for the materials study. Do we want to do the materials study high over the moon? Yeah, probably because Steve's going to be close to the moon. Not that we can't adjust him in the future with the moon station, but we're less likely to get a materials study high over the moon, right? Not that we couldn't adjust and get that in the future, but let's come here and open the bays. Observe material. Yep. Now he's coming back with this, right? So we're going to keep this experiment. And then I think that's the only thing in there, right? Oh no, we do have the thermostat, but with that, well, we don't need thermostat or atmospheric. So yeah, let's close this back up just because why not? Now we can do a crew report and send that off. And then let's do an EVA. And we can send that off, and that's board before something dumb happens. Whoa, what are you doing, buddy? Yeah, why did we do so much? Right? Yeah, what is this maneuver that we have? No, we don't want to. Oh, it was, never mind. I never deleted it. Sorry. I just confused, and then I confused myself. All right, good. So we got some little bit of extra science. So I think the thing we would do now, I don't know how, we probably want to blast back to the, we're planning a maneuver to get back out of here, right? So what we would do, we want to basically burn towards Kerbal, right? Now the problem is, there we go. Yeah, let's see if we can, yeah, let's make it bigger. So we're going to want to get the lowest periapsis that we can. Now, if we adjust it this way, that makes it bigger. Yeah, this is, well, yeah, at an hour. That'll be pretty low, right? And then when we burn from somewhere over here, we just have to bring this apoapsis down. And just to make sure, right, we can... It's a little bit confusing as to where you'll actually leave the sphere of influence. But if we... Yeah, that's 9 days. But let's see, can we... When is this... Yeah, it doesn't really tell us when. Period. Yeah, 13 days. Look down at the bottom left here, and you'll see, like, that's, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah. Time to reach the apoapsis. That's not what we care about. I'm trying to get it to the point where we know we're going to launch it. But you know what? That's not the point anyway. The point is, let's then do... We're just going to do a big burn and see... You know, we want to get our periapsis to be just when it disappears there, right? Like, so how much delta V... is going to be 500. So the point of that maneuver, I'm just going to get rid of it. But the point was to say it was about 500 delta V, which means we should have plenty, right? Like, I just wanted to check that if we go out like this, he's not going to be in some permanent orbit that we can't get back out of. Which, when we come here to our show engineer, we should have plenty, right? We have to stage, but that's good too. We'll get rid of that big part of the rocket. We don't need it. But it turns out that we have tons of extra delta V because we still have 1900 in the other one, in the last stage that we have there. So, which is good. That'll give us plenty of breathing room, and it doesn't really cost us that much extra money. And it also means that, set that as the target. It's not showing me the... Yeah, let's turn off the flight engineer thing there. Yeah, from what I understand... Yeah, this line is the orbit. That should be... So what we want to do is look for where all these lines kind of cross. Right? And that would be... Yeah, I think actually, where this line is even with this line, right? No. Yeah, see, that's right about here. So we're going to add a maneuver, right? And we're going to burn down like this. And what I'm worried about, if we come here, is the inclination, right? Let's go down a little bit more. I want to get that to like 180. Yep, I can't get it to 180, and that is because of this. We're burning a little bit too soon or a little bit too late, right? So if we burn a little bit whichever way, we should be able to get it closer. And you know what? That's... Yeah, oh, there you go. That's close enough. All right, so when we get up here, we'll do another burn, right, in 30 minutes. So it's going to take a while to get around to that, but that'll get us in a more inclined plane. So this maneuver, we're going to delete that one, right? So now, the next maneuver we're going to do is going to be this one. So, yeah, right? Good. All right, so let's do that. And again, it should slow us down. I don't think there's anything else going on, right? Yeah, 6 days. Yeah, Steve's just going to have to go around until we can get somebody else up to him. So that's a little bit of a disappointment not to be able to get that science. And that's probably a good argument for why we should have just not launched 3 of them at a time. Ooh, why didn't you? Oh, we didn't set an alarm. Gosh darn it. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, you know what? We'd have to go all the way around again. So let's close this. We could do it on the descending node. Supposedly that's not quite as good a thing to do. Right about here. But I don't know how much. We got so much extra delta V that I'm not sure that it makes hardly any difference to us here, does it? Yeah, see, that's... Try to get this line real level, then we can see what we're doing. Yeah, it's actually... that's the last thing I wanted to do. But we can come here, fortunately, and say, no, don't do any of that. 77. How does that look? Like it's in line with this height. So let's click on that again. Go to this, turn this down. Yeah, that's going the wrong way. So I'm trying to, yeah, that's pretty good. We turn this down a little bit more. There we go. So we burn 112 to get into the same inclination, which will actually do that. Now this time I want to set an alarm. There we go. I don't think, in the grand scheme of things, we wanted to come around here before we made this final maneuver. So it's, you know, it was a bit of a flub up, but at the same time, not anything that we can't handle, right? Now our power, yeah, power's gaining. It's, you know, keep an eye on that. Be happy when we're away from the influence of it. All right, good. We're pointing right at the maneuver node. And I think that's because we're kind of cheating a little bit, aren't we? Let's fast forward time. We got a 2-second burn. Yeah, we're kind of cheating a bit having this guy pointing at the node, aren't we? All right, let's go a little bit more. Now I'm gonna burn a little bit slower. This is what I was talking about earlier, right? So let's stop this. You know, it's not that critical that we go full throttle, so I want to burn until that comes up, right? And we'll burn the right amount, but if you notice, we're not burning near full throttle. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but there we go. So now, let's add a maneuver at our apoapsis, which should be the easiest place, if not the best place, to get out of this orbit, right? And it makes sense too, because if you think about it, we're pointing towards Kerbin, like you kind of want to, but you really just want to get out of the sphere of influence of the moon, right? So it's also, it would actually, I guess, be easier to do it at the periapsis at that point, wouldn't it? But let's say we want to burn, so let's pull back a little bit. Yeah, see, I don't want to, I like the launch at a time when our, yeah, let's give it more, because we got plenty of fuel, right? Yeah, see, we're going to be burning so fast that we're not even going to get into an orbit. But see, when we, oh, what am I doing? Once again, I grabbed the wrong, oh no. Okay, it looked like I grabbed the wrong thing. There we go. Look at this maneuver. I don't know what that actually looks like, but it gets us. Yeah, Kerbin periapsis. Yeah, let's fine tune it this way. Do you see? I don't know if you guys see what I'm doing, but Go the other way. Come on. Yeah, and see, this is the problem. Pajar doesn't seem to be able to do this very well on his own. All right, so yeah, let's come back to... Yeah, let's move this manually because it's... Oh, there we go. We got it back. 21. I mean, that's... 22. I like to usually get it to about 30. Yeah, like that burn right there. You know, by the time, like the thing that's confusing, remember this, the moon's going to move this way. So we're going to come off here. And I think that's for like a really, we might not have to burn again. Right? Does that make sense? So let's add an alarm. And how long? Yeah, 34 minutes. Nothing else is going on in 34 minutes. So let's do 100 times. Oh, we could have done... Well, I didn't really look for science, did I? We got pretty much all the science we're going to get. Yeah, we're behind the moon, so let's keep an eye on our batteries. All right, let's... well, it should slow us down in a minute here. And then we'll maneuver. Hopefully that doesn't take too much of our... There we go. So let's do this one. Oh, let's kill this, or turn this off so I can control it with my controller again. And we'll do this one manually. Yeah, we're pretty much burning prograde, aren't we? All right, slow down, slow down, slow down. Come back, come back, come back. Nice thing about having Pajar in there and like actual people and pretending is that I can blame any mistakes that I make on him. Oh no, we ran. Oh no, okay. Our power's still low, but yeah, let's fast forward a little bit. We got a 22-second burn, so I think I'll just go full throttle on this, right? Let's yeah, do times 10. We'll slow it down when we get to about 40 or 50. There we go. Get right on the dot. So I think, well, let's see. Can Pajar help us out? Hold us in prograde, buddy. Yeah, how are you doing? Well, you're looking very serious. I don't blame you. This is important maneuver. So if you think about it, we're burning. Oops, we're turning. Oh, we need to burn soon. About 10 seconds. Yeah, we'll stop talking. We'll focus. Close enough. Oh. Good job, Pajar. Get us back on target. Yeah, I'm going to come out to this screen where I can see what we're doing. You're really not holding this on target very well, buddy. Turn the throttles down just so we can end it at a good point. All right, let's see what that did for us. Let's get rid of this maneuver. Oh, we have no periapsis. So what I think I'd want to do is when we get here or somewhere, we would add a maneuver to go like this way a little bit, right? Yeah, there you go. See, so we'll burn a little. 56. Yeah, let's go to here. 20, pretty close. What was that? This way, right? Oh, wrong way. 29, close enough, right? So we'll do this maneuver, which will be, let's add an alarm for it in 1 hour. Sounds good. All right, let's go fast forward times 100. Yeah, this will end this episode, you know, after we get done. Let's get him on his way back home. I think what times to the periapsis is 4 hours. Maybe we'll watch them in the beginning of the next episode, maybe come back to the planet. But this was, you know, not normally the way you would want to orbit the moon. No, I guess you can orbit whatever way you want, but at the same time, a little bit not what I've seen as a standard mission there, right? So there we go. See, blasting away, and then we'll pick up this because we have so little velocity relative to our orbital direction. We'll start immediately just getting sucked back straight towards Kerbin. Yep, delete the alarm. Thank you. Don't set the moon as the target, please. And then node in 2 minutes. Okay, well, let's get on over to it, huh? Yeah, this should just be a little, yeah, 9. Oh, geez. Oh, you know what? Do me stability assist, buddy. There you go. Yeah, he kept wanting to take us to pro. I was fighting. I'm like, why am I fighting this so much? All right, so really, to be honest with you, we could burn this at any time. I mean, it's great that we have the maneuver. That'll give us an idea. But let's just get rid of the maneuver. And I'm just going to burn in this direction until we get a little bit of a periapsis going, right? We're at minus 44, if you can see it up top there. Yep, see how we're bringing it back up? And then I'll keep my hand on the X. When we get to close to 30, we'll whoop, a little more. There you go. So there we go. So it's just a matter of falling back to the Earth, right? Let's add an alarm to go to the periapsis, right? We don't have an option for like back in the... I don't think that this does... Yeah, I think it's... There's no... We could add a maneuver, so we're going to have to keep in mind possibly that this is... Or I'll have to keep it in mind. Yeah, see, like we could add a maneuver there, right? So that when we add the alarm, will that work out? Yeah, 3 hours and 18 minutes. Yeah, so add an alarm. There we go. So when we come back, I'll have fast forwarded enough time, and Pajar will be closer to the planet, and we can, it won't take too long to get him back in once he's that close. Let's take a final look at how he's doing. Well, he has power being generated, which is good. He looks happier than crap right now. Got his mouth open. He's smiling so wide. He should probably shut his mouth a little bit. It's a heck of a smile there, buddy. All right, anyway. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it, and we will be back at some point in the near future to bring Kerbin back home, and then we have to talk about Pajar back home. Then we have to talk about getting Steve some help. And then the other thing is we got Chunk out there too, and he's not going to have enough people. So we may have to hire a few more scientists, and I may do that between the episodes as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.